the Chesapeake and Ohio Fast Flying Virginian, or FFV, which is what we're going to call it. Among one of the CNO's earlier named passenger trains, this particular service started on May 11th, 1889, and is the longest lasting named passenger train for the Chesapeake and Ohio, not being discontinued until May 12th, 1968. It was a luxury passenger train with a dining car, double bedroom, reclining seats, which were added in 1961, but still very fancy, very upscale, a very nice ride, all things considered. However, just a year and a half into service, there was a near disaster due to a rock slide. But thankfully, one man, the engineer, George Washington Alley, would step up and become a hero that day, saving all the lives on board, except for his own. The date was October 23rd, 1890, and the time was roughly 5:40 a.m. That day, the Fast Flying Virginian was pulled by CNO number 134. I tried to find out what kind of locomotive this was, and no sources that talk about this incident actually state that, and the only picture I was able to find of CNO 134 is absolutely not the same engine. The later 134 is far too modern and is an 010O, which almost certainly wouldn't be used to haul a high-speed express passenger service. They're just not designed for it. So I'm not altogether sure exactly what kind of locomotive was hauling the train that day, but regardless, Alley was at the controls. And he had 2 firemen with him, in fact. But the trip would not go as planned at all. Everything had been fine up until this point, but as the train was moving 2 miles east of Hinton, West Virginia, George Alley looked ahead in horror to see that there was a massive rock slide on the tracks. They hadn't seen it in time, they didn't have enough room to stop, and he was an experienced engineer, so he probably knew that. Despite this, he stayed with the locomotive and tried desperately to stop her. Both the firemen would wind up jumping, but Alley stayed with the engine until the very last moment. The impact was severe, knocking the locomotive off the track and overturning her, trapping Alley in the cab and releasing steam, scalding him severely. But Alley's actions, slowing the train before the impact, did have a positive effect. There were absolutely no injuries among the passengers. At all. At all. And by extension, no deaths. Everyone was fine. Both firemen did suffer minor injuries, but they would survive. The only death resulting from this crash was Alley himself, sadly. Crews worked to free him, but he had been burned too severely, dying just 5 hours after the accident, at the age of 30 years old. But he was hailed by everyone as a hero, because, well, he was. Because he stayed with the engine, doing everything he could to slow the train down as much as possible. Everyone else lived. And strangely, he's often overlooked when it comes to railroad history. He's a bit of an unsung hero. Well, okay, actually, scratch that. He is quite literally sung due to a folk ballad based off of the wreck, known as Engine 143, but it gets a lot wrong. For one thing, the title is Engine 143. The engine was number 134. Maybe they thought 143 sounded better? I'm not sure why that changed there. And the folk ballad also takes many liberties. Alley's hair was black, not blonde, for one. The fireman on board did not actually cause the crash at all, nor did Alley. He wasn't speeding to make up lost time. He was driving the train appropriately. The rock slide was just out of nowhere. They didn't expect it. No one knew it was there. Also, his mother didn't come to his side as he was dying. Not because she wouldn't have. She had just already died years before the accident. So, yeah, that was a thing, too. Really, the song, is not very accurate, but that's not too unusual. But the real event did occur in 1890, And George Washington Alley did die a hero, sacrificing his life so that others might live. Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fond farewell.